Rodney.
Soaring no lineup beam. WT. Sold out pant loads and our current champs. The Moppers. It's Bar Fantasy Football. If you love this game, you will sure love Bar Fantasy Football. Good luck to all.
Here we go, Bar Fantasy Football Podcast, Season 6, Episode 14. I'm Brian the Commish down here in the Fantasy Football Dungeon with the best co-host and the road warrior of Bar Fantasy Football, owner Born to Run, Walt here. Walt, how are you?
I'm doing awesome.
You should be. We're gonna talk about that right now. What a great final week of the regular season that we had. There was drama everywhere, and it all worked out for some. A lot of pain for others. Walt, we're talking about Week 14, the last week of the regular season. Where do you want to start in BARFF action?
Let's see. Let's talk about. Let's see. Shall we talk about some of the consolation games quickly?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go with the Moppers.
Moppers taking on the right.
Yeah.
Let's get that game up. This is Springfield Rifle Proud Team and Whopper Moppers, last year's champ. They play to one of the better games of the final week of the regular season, 137-122 victory for the Rifle. Things finally came together for the Moppers. What went well?
Yeah, Michael Wilson went well.
He did.
He just since Harrison's been out, he's been like unbelievable. The amount of targets he gets per game. He had 2 TDs, 11 receptions. I mean, that alone was like just incredible. It was a really nice performance there. And then, of course, Puka Nacua, the two of them together, is what put the Moppers over the top.
I mean, you're talking 75 points
that's
from
what I
two
mean.
receivers.
From two guys.
that's impressive.
It's like insane. So, yeah, and and overcame a 30-point day from Tony Pollard too, which was incredible.
Out of
nowhere. But the Rifles' Achilles heels once again. It's Debo and Cooper Kupp, in Godwin didn't really do much.
Right.
His receivers. I mean, I think maybe next year he'll maybe think about that and change his strategy.
I think he's leaning on Debo, and so many of us have ridden that Debo roller coaster up and down, double digits, single digits. It's so frustrating because such a talented player, but that is what it is. It's on to next year for the Rifle and on to next year for Whopper Moppers. They're the proud owners of the trophy, but all good things must come to an end.
It was a short reign for the Moppers.
It was a short reign, but he's got a taste of it, and
that's right.
Time to start prepping for next year.
I mean, he could say something 2 other guys in his league can't say. That he's a BARFF champion.
That's true. So. He is in the pantheon of BARFF champions, so that is something to be very proud of. Where do you want to go next?
Let's. This was a pretty good beatdown of the week. No lineup against the soaring Eagles.
Boy, both teams heading into the playoffs, but Soaring kicks the door down to the bye in the regular season championship, and no lineup limps into the 5th seed, 158.15 to 81.7 for no lineup. Uncharacteristic bad game heading into playoff time. What went wrong for no lineup?
I think Rashid Rice playing Houston was part of that problem that went wrong. I mean, Olave didn't do much. Nice game out of Harvey, but Genti, you ride that roller coaster as well. He had back down to his 5.8 points. That really hurts. Abuka, I don't know. Ever since I traded him,
what did you know? What did you know? Come on.
I don't know, man. It's crazy. And then the Jahmyr Gibbs train kind of went rolling over my Dallas Cowboys and Superman Josh Allen playing in snow and all of that was just incredible as well. So I think when we talk about brackets, Soaring Eagles to me, as much as I like my team, that's the team to beat.
They are regular season champions at 10-4.
Very nice year.
Early on it didn't necessarily look like it was going to be a regular season championship for Soaring Eagles, but they stayed true, kept doing the work, and now they are. They're going to be the recipients of the regular season winners' cash, and they're in a great position as the number 1 seed on the bye heading into the playoffs.
Of course, I'm trying to remember when the last time a number 1 seed.
It's hard.
Usually
it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah, usually our winner comes from the 5th or 6th seed, and just worked. I mean, the Moppers did it last year. They beat the 3 best teams.
Right. Yeah, when you got to, it is normal. No one really wins 2 games and gets that title. That's true.
It's been a while.
It's very common that we get 3 winners or 3-game winners as our champions. So, but we'll see. Soaring Eagles is really peaking at the right time, streaking their way into the playoffs, and they put up a strong performance on playoff eve, 158-81. No lineup.
They did.
No lineup puts up this 81-point game. And they are still the high scorer.
Yeah, I mean, even the last couple of weeks, not been great, but C's still the high scorer. Yep. I mean, nobody's going to sleep on no lineup, that's for sure. They're probably my number 3 seed going in, and to me, they can beat anyone else. So
I agree.
These guys just as good a chance.
That's a hell of a team.
It's a good team.
It is a crime. I mean, we'll talk about the playoffs bracket in a little bit, but it's just that they're the 5th seed just doesn't seem right. We'll talk about that more after.
It does.
Just doesn't play well for me. All right, where do you want to go next?
Well, let's talk about my game because we gotta spend some time, talking about.
So let's talk about last week. Last week's episode, we talked about some bracketology situations. And one of the, long shot situations was you getting a bye. And what you needed to do was you needed to not only win, but you needed to win so big that you overcame a 70-point deficit. Yeah. And you did exactly that, putting up a 167-108 victory over worst team ever. And in doing so, making up 70 points on Huey Lewis in the News to pick up the second bye. Congratulations.
Well, thank you. When you brought that up last week, I scoffed. I really did.
It's scoffable.
It was like, man, of course it was probable, and I guess I proved that, but it just didn't seem likely, but the stars were aligned. I just had a super week. I mean, when your kicker gets 23, I mean, you're like, okay. Yeah. And if Pickens would have actually shown interest in the game and played the second half, I mean, I could have been like 170, 180, something like that.
How do you manage that locker room? But if he had just put up a George Pickens week here in the 70s, easy. Yeah, it's
but
crazy.
Then Barkley actually ripped off, 50 whatever plus TD. Mm-hmm. So I mean, I had a great week. I think worst team ever. They're just a hard luck team. CeeDee Lamb was on his way to 40 points maybe. Uh-huh. I mean, he pretty much had that in a half. Mm-hmm. And they were not stopping him.
It has been a season for worst team ever. He doesn't want to hear it because he's got the new attitude this year. But there were some bad breaks for worst team ever, and back to the drawing board. He's one of those 2 teams that really wants to get his hand on this title, and the only way to do that is to wait 30 or so weeks and then get back on the horse next year.
I thought you were going to say 30 or so years he might have to wait. But yes, exactly. I mean, he's got to do a little reflecting. Overall, I think he's going to say I put together a decent team, but luck didn't, go his way. But
it didn't. And he could have really folded a few weeks ago. And he went out, picked up some good wins. Got a 5-win season is not. It's not terrible.
It's not terrible. I mean, I've had worse. So kudos to him and the rifle. There was never any quit on either one of those teams.
Agreed. All right, that leaves us. Where are we going now?
Well, we got to talk about the collapse. I mean, and I hate gloating over when I see someone on the other end because I've been there and I know that. But it is what it is, right? We got to call it a collapse.
It is. I will say that Coos 30 has already weighed in on chat. Beans stink, which thanks for getting the show started off right, Beans. This is a 119-73 victory for the Beans. The Beans seize that 6th and final playoff spot with the victory. And Team Rodney Hampton fall to 3rd in the regular season. They're 9-5, but the only problem with that good record is that at one point they were 9-0. What is happening in formerly Huey Lewis in the News, now Team Rodney Hampton?
Well, Team Rodney Hampton, unfortunately, Jonathan Taylor's come back to earth, and of course, the often injured Daniel Jones. Now Daniel Jones is out for the whole year, so that's not great. They're probably going to be starting 44-year-old Phillip Rivers. A little trivia.
44 years old.
The second grandfather to ever start a game in the NFL if he does end up playing, which
And he'll be one of the few quarterbacks to outweigh some of his offensive linemen from the press conference that I saw.
Oh, yeah.
Good for Phillip.
Hey, you need a little beef if you're going to sling that ball around. But, yeah, so, and, receivers are a huge problem. If you want to sum up what happened, the Justin Jefferson trade, that just completely backfired, unfortunately, and I don't blame him for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have rolled the dice. Quentin Johnson has all of a sudden become an afterthought in that passing attack.
Agreed.
And, it's just rough. You're just hoping, Jonathan Taylor is going to carry you, but he hasn't been. And Herbert, he's hurt. I give the guy a lot of credit. He's still playing with a broken hand, and, but it's not good.
It's not. Two superstar players in Justin Jefferson and Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor's production has really tailed off.
Oh, yeah.
He went big for 50 points. I believe it was week 10. And since then, I think he's been double digits once.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Jefferson, well documented, that Minnesota disaster of an offense. And talk about tying an anchor to Justin Jefferson, the superstar receiver. And I believe he's currently sitting at 24th ranked in fantasy football.
Can you imagine that?
Terrible. You never
on draft day. I mean, what do you say? You're like, I don't care who's throwing on the ball.
Yeah,
he'll still be a top.
It's Justin Jefferson. He's a first-round draft pick.
Yeah.
And
well, we were proved wrong on that. I guess a quarterback can make. Yeah.
It can make a big difference. Yeah. It's a sad decline, but they are in the playoffs, and so they can make it work. It's just a matter of having some things go right. They've got to. Justin Herbert's got to pick up and carry this team, and you got to hope that Indianapolis really wants that playoff spot. They're in a really sticky situation with Phillip Rivers coming on at quarterback, but they should just be feeding Jonathan Taylor more. So maybe that benefits new team Rodney Hampton.
Yeah, and then the Beans, I predicted they were going to win. They did. This team, I'm glad I'm not playing them round one.
Yeah.
They can. Of course, they got some guys who can just not underperform. Jalen Hurts proved it with his whopping 2.8 points. But, A.J. Brown's coming on. Chase had a kind of a so-so day, but Chase is going to have a big day, I guarantee it, in the next 3 weeks. So, yeah, I'd worry about the Beans.
Yeah. I mean, when you're getting 31 points from the bottom of your lineup, that's a strong statement to make right there. Jalen Hurts isn't going to go 2.8 every week, so get that one out of the way in week 14 as you head into the playoffs. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and they could be that team that starts, that last seed, and they end up beating all the good teams. I would not shock at all.
Absolutely.
And then lastly,
but not least,
the game that we thought would have been a little closer, but maybe score-wise, it maybe seems it.
This is Knuckleheads and Sody Pantloads. 121-96 win for the Knuckleheads, eliminating Sody Pantloads from playoff contention. Knuckleheads end up somehow through ass backwards luck the 4th seed, but Sody is eliminated from the playoffs. It was a win and in situation, and they go sub 100. What happened in Sody land?
I mean, Bijan just, and again, it was a really tough matchup. We called it out last week. So he underperformed by quite a lot. Again, the Eagles offense, Devontae Smith, I don't know. I think I saw like 3 or 4 targets at most. So that was, I felt bad for Sody there. And then, he had Bucky. Bucky had a good week. Bo Nix. I think the Pantloads did comment that they're no longer a believer, and he put Bo Nix on the no draft list for next year. But Javonte Williams had a good. Cortland Sutton did okay, but it just wasn't enough. It just to make up for, the Ravens -1, Devontae 7.
Yeah.
I mean, McBride even, right? 10 points.
Right. It's not what you expect.
No.
Totally betrayed. Bijan Robinson, you expect.
Yeah.
Double digits easily, and
I'm the poster child for Bijan Robinson betraying it. So, yeah, he gave me because of him, I have the worst record that I ever had in one season because of him.
Yeah, it's hard to rely. And I'll tell you, those 3 defense really that I don't want to see any of my lineup players. Seattle, Denver, and Houston. Forget about Houston. I want nothing to do with Houston. So, that's
Amen.
tough.
Amen. And then, for you, it's nice to see Amari Hampton. He looked pretty good to me.
He did.
They kind of limited his carries. I understand why, just, getting him back. But he looked good.
Yeah.
That's a nice sign for you. Pittman woke up. Wonder what's going to happen now. But the biggest one, and this is what you've been counting on all year, was Zay Flowers. Finally, a 20-point game out of him. And that's what you were
12-11, 12-11. I needed it, and
you got it when you needed it. Yeah.
So that's the end of the year for Sody Pantloads. He goes into the consolation bracket. As we transition into other things on the podcast, I want to warn all owners: this is not the time if you're a bottom 4 team to come off the gas. Only for this reason. Everyone's a proud owner in this league, and I can tell you that the consolation ladder is easy to take not so seriously, but that is what determines what ESPN is going to tell you your finish was that year. So there could be a year where you finish 7th, but if you tank in the bracket, you're going to look back at that and it's going to say that you finished dead last, because that's how ESPN calculates it. So don't be last. Do what you can, win a couple games in the ladder, and keep yourself afloat for pride purposes, because it hurts. It hurts.
I know that feeling. It hurts.
It's got that roll of toilet paper next to your name.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
And like you said, we go back 5 years on the league history, and you see that. You don't want to be that one that's at the bottom because you decided just, take. And
I have been there many times. And I'm not even saying I was tanking. I was trying. It just happens. So, So what a great
it's a great end of the year
season, between what happened with you and then the unfortunate ouster. There's so many. What did we have? 5 teams, or roughly 5 teams, kind of vying for that bottom spot, that final spot in the playoffs, and it ended up the way it ended up. So
I think it's incredible. I think it's a crapshoot who takes the title this year. I mean, I can see a path for every single team. Except maybe Huey. Sorry, nothing against Team Rodney Hampton. I think a lot of things would have to go right to run out 3 in a row. Can it happen? Of course.
Of course it can happen. Let's take the board before I destroy the place. We're gonna go really high tech. Try not to have things fall in the studio.
All right, here we come. The board of boards.
Here we go. So it's probably not going to play out very well on the screen because we've got glare. So we've got a bye for the Soaring Eagles, number 1 seed. Then we've got 5 playing 4, no lineup needed, playing the Knuckleheads. Second bye based on an amazing performance. Born to Run sits out this week. And number 6, Boston Beans, takes on number 3, Team Rodney Hampton. That's our first round. And so, Walt, I'm going to start with you. You only have 2 games to really pick. Let's get some stuff up on the screen for percentages, and tell me what game you want to start with.
All right, let's talk about my dark horse, the Boston Beans against Team Rodney Hampton.
Team Rodney Hampton versus the Beans this week. Let me get their graphic because it's got their pretty logos on it. And what we see is that right now, Boston Beans are favored 52% to 48% over Team Rodney Hampton. What do you think?
I think that percent is incorrect. And again, we literally said this like 10 minutes ago. You don't want to have a guy playing Seattle. Who's probably his best player on his team for Team Rodney Hampton is Jonathan Taylor. Who is he playing?
Oh, God, it's terrible.
It just, you could not ask for a worse matchup.
I mean, that could be a single-digit performance.
It easily could be. And, Quentin Johnson, KC, KC's a decent defensive team. I think, they're going to dial up a lot of pressure on Herbert with the bad hand. Breece Hall's, I got a questionable. I didn't check today, but Jacksonville's not an easy. Plus, they have no quarterback. Justin Fields may not play.
I don't know who they're going to start.
What's his name? Tyrod Taylor, right?
I believe he's still out.
It's
not good. Not a good situation.
If you want to say one potentially bright spot, Justin Jefferson against Dallas's secondary. I mean, if they can somehow get him the ball,
right? Someone's got to throw the ball,
right? And so that could end up being like a 35-point game for Jefferson, and that's what it's going to take in my mind. Something extraordinary out of Jefferson, because you flip the other side. I mean, again, schedule Jalen Hurts against Vegas, A.J. Brown against Vegas. Jamar Chase, Baltimore's defense is, a shell of its former self.
It is.
So that you would say, oh, that's a horrible one. No, I think that's a really good matchup. Waddle against Pitt, don't hate that. Seahawks D against Indy, that could be 20 points for the Seahawks D there too.
It could.
So yeah, I mean, this is unfortunately for me, this is an easy one. I'm advancing the Beans.
All right, so we're gonna.
And they stink, and that's why I'm advancing.
So all right, so there we're gonna have. This is gonna look like a child wrote it. The first entry in the BARFF Fantasy Football Podcast bracketology is Walt's pick, the Boston Beans. Born to Run will be taking on the Boston Beans next week, according to Born to Run. Take a look at the other game. We have what I call the travesty bracket. Somehow, the Knuckleheads are in the 4th seed, and they will be playing no lineup needed, which doesn't make any sense. The no lineup needed is our top scoring team, despite having their point total fall right off the map last week. And so you've got this. I don't know if it counts for anything, but I can't imagine that no lineup needed is all that happy about the situation right now, and being the 5th seed, taking on the Knuckleheads in 4th. How do you see this game going?
We're going to go right back to it. You got 2 guys going against the Seattle defense, Pittman and your tight end. I don't love that. I do love that you inserted Purdy in there against Tennessee.
It didn't work out for me last time.
This time I think it will.
Yeah,
coming off a bye, they're going to be ready.
Sure.
I like that a lot. Hampton against KC. Henderson against Buffalo. I mean, he had a nice game against Buffalo the first go around.
He did.
I think he'll do well. St. Brown against Rams. Yeah, I think not awesome matchup, but not horrible either. And then flip it. I mean, he's going with Lamar Jackson. I am stunned, beyond stunned.
That's tough. I don't know whether he's got to be going back and forth. I would think about this decision.
I wish he was calling in because I really would love to pick his brain.
I thought him and Sodi would be on the line by now, but I mean it's Thursday, so he's got time. But,
right.
I would rather see Dak in there than Lamar Jackson this week.
At least Dak, you would think, you figure he's get me 20 no matter what.
Right.
The ceiling, I think is high for him, but the base, more importantly, the basement is not super low like Lamar. I mean, he's at 4, 7.
He's been living in single digits.
Yeah, it's crazy. Genty against Philly. McCaffrey, I guess, illness, so hopefully he's not pooping his pants and he'll be able to play. But
that's a juicy match.
Yeah. But tonight's a big one. Ibuka, he hasn't done much, and Atlanta's tough.
Atlanta's D is tough. Yeah.
And Evans, I think, is playing too.
I heard that Evans was coming back. I did not check the reports before we jumped on air, so I'm not 100% sure that Evans is in. But that's why I stayed away from Baker this week. I don't like the matchup, and
same here.
There's too much uncertainty for me down there.
I 100% agree with that.
So there's a lot of green check marks right now. It's a 16-point projection swing in favor of no lineup needed. They are listed on the screen, 58% victory to 42% for the Knuckleheads. What is Born to Run's call?
You got to have an upset special somewhere, right? I don't know why. I think McCaffrey's going to have a good day. No, there's no question.
Right.
I just don't love Rice's matchup, Genty's matchup, and Ibuka, those 3. And I can't trust Jackson, so I'm going with the Knuckleheads.
Knuckleheads. We're going to put a KH up here. Try to not knock the board down. All right. I'm going to agree with Boston Beans because so I'm going to stick with that pick also. We're going to go back to the successful series of shorts of the 7 deadly sins of fantasy owners. Follow the trends. And the trend right now is that Team Rodney Hampton has been flaming out. They have gone with the name change magic, which I appreciate.
I agree.
I'm going to disagree on the top, and I'm going to tell you, I said I would talk about it more. This is a travesty. That the Knuckleheads are the second lowest scoring team in the league. As a matter of fact, I don't want to cause a rift in the fabric of the universe by doing a name change, but I'm going to do an unofficial name change because if I'm playing no lineup needed, my name should be lineup needed because he has the most points scored in the league, and I'm streaming a quarterback in the playoffs. So I'm going to go lineup needed And no, actually, I'm going to go no lineup needed versus lineup needed for mine, because I just don't see how that's going to happen. And this isn't me trying to be cute with the podcast curse.
No.
I feel like it kind of hurt enough being so low in points scored. I need these games to be dirty. I need these to be like sub 100 games. I'm good at those.
It's a defense. You got to bring them down to your level.
I got to bring them down to my level.
Yep.
So hopefully these tough matchups will do that, and we'll be in like the 105s, and I may be able to pull it out. But I think if no lineup just has an average day, they're going to move on in these playoffs.
Yeah, the Pantloads were quick to point that out about you.
I'm sure they were.
I think he said, did you have like 2 wins where you only had like 80-something points or something?
I had a win sub 80.
Yeah, he was quick to point out both of those. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I hear you, and I can't say I totally disagree. I could definitely, but hey, like I said, I got to shake it up.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. All right, so let's move on in your bracket. Top bracket, you've got the Soaring Eagles. Your choice was the Knuckleheads. Between Soaring Eagles and Knuckleheads,
Soaring Eagles just flies away.
Soaring moves on.
Right in.
They beat the Knuckleheads. That one wasn't
right into the semi.
And then Born to Run and Boston Beans. That's a good game.
It's a good game.
That happens. Yeah.
But I'm you got to stick. That's my team. My team's been hot.
BTL.
I gotta go. I gotta go with my team.
So then we would have 1 versus 2.
And this, so what's the chance of this happening? This is like when you're betting March Madness and you pick all the 1 seeds.
Right.
And, yeah, right. How many times does that work out?
Right.
Once in a great while, sure. But
sure.
So this is highly unlikely. But I'm going to stick to my guns. I think consistently Soaring Eagles has been the best team. I'm just going to go with them. They're what's their winning streak? He's been on. Let's see. Where is our?
I think it's 5 that he went into the playoffs with.
Yeah.
It's a pretty crazy winning streak, and that's exactly when you want it. You were doing the same thing.
Well, that's right. Exactly. Yeah, he's on. Oh, he must have lost. It said it was a 1 game. I don't care.
Oh, he lost in week 13.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. Right. But he's consistently been the best team.
Yeah.
Why are you going to buck the trend?
Yep. I would say if no lineup plays Soren in the semis, that'll be an amazing.
That'll be a nice matchup.
But I'm again following the trends. I'm going to agree. Go with the hot teams, and right now the hot teams are those high seeds. The Beans could pull an upset, but again, we follow the trends. We talked about how important that was, and so yeah, we could have I think that would be the first 1 and 2 seed title game ever.
Yeah, we'd have to. I think it might have happened once before. I don't know, but I think for some reason it might have. But
yeah, we can have the league historians check into that. Also, so you guys saw what we did. Let us know about your Bar Fantasy Football playoff bracket. Let's see if anyone has more creative ideas. Right now, no lineup needed versus lineup needed in one, and Boston Beans taking on name change magic Team Rodney Hampton. Going to be a good week of games.
Yeah, it is. Again, anything can happen. Last week proved that. Who knows? You can lay an egg. You go like, oh, these matchups are amazing, and who the heck knows?
Yeah,
so that's why. I mean, that's what makes it fun. That's what makes it exciting.
That is what makes it fun. And we talked about the importance of the consolation ladder. So let's get in. There's 2 more games to talk about briefly. We're going to bring the first one up. Let's talk about worst team ever in the rifle. 2 proud owners who had an awful lot of difficulty this season, and now they're facing off in the first round of the consolation bracket. 54%, as we're seeing on the screen, to 46% probability of victory, according to ESPN here on Thursday night for the rifle. What do you think happens this week?
I'm going to lean towards worst team ever. I think CD does play, and that's critical for a worst team to get a win. But Kyron Williams, 13, that prediction, I didn't think it's going to be higher than that. I can see Warren more than 12. The interesting one, Brian Thomas Jr. against the Jets. The last 4 games, Trevor Lawrence has thrown 8 touchdowns. I don't think he's been sacked. That is a sneaky good game in my mind.
It's also a sneaky good team in Jacksonville.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. So love that for him. And then on the flip side, I mean, Pollard 12 points. Okay, maybe. but that game could be out of hand really quick. I could see nothing there.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, how can you trust Debo right now to do anything?
It's too much. It's too much to rely on. Yes, he's got a great matchup because that Giants defense sucks. But again, I don't know whether it's interest. I don't know whether they scheme him some weeks and some weeks they don't. He could go 20 points any week, and then he pulls up with these 5s and 6s.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just too much.
This is one of the best, fight for the consolation bracket matchups I've seen in a long time.
You don't want to be 10. No. Don't be 10. I'm telling you. It's happened to me so many times. It's so sad. It makes you very depressed. So, gentlemen, stay away from that situation. And then that brings us to the last round 1 game, which is a team that I think thought for sure that they were going to go to the playoffs. I agreed with them. I thought they were going to the playoffs too. And then our current reigning champion, who started off with such promise and then just encountered too much difficulty. Sody Pantloads taking on current reigning champ Whopper Moppers, 56-44 in terms of percentages for win percentage according to ESPN. Who takes this game?
Green Bay against Denver. I just got a gut feeling Denver's going to throw up a clunker against that type of level of opponent. I don't love it. Bijan, of course, will probably have a very nice night against Tampa because Tampa's D to me is so-so. But McBride against Houston, I don't love that.
No.
I like Bucky, but if you flip on the other side, Cook always does well against New England. Puka against Detroit, 22. I think that's going to be like 32. Nico against Arizona, love that matchup. Henry against Buffalo, he's had good matchups. Interesting one is, and I don't know, maybe that's why he's got Marvin Harrison Jr. in there.
Yeah, that is a very interesting decision. He's banged up and he's playing Houston.
Yeah, and that's why he's got a 44% because he's got a goose egg in there right now. 0. So I think I like the Moppers. Their matchup's a little better. Yeah. So I'm going to say the Moppers are going to keep Sody in the losers bracket.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. Michael Wilson's on the bench and Marvin Harrison Jr. is on.
Yeah, it's a bold move.
I think the Moppers are reacting with emotion right
now. yeah, definitely. And it's too bad. You look at that team of Cook, Nakoa, Collins. You're like, wow.
Yeah, I will say I think you can look at every lineup except for mine because, again, I'm streaming a quarterback in round 1 of the playoffs. I think that these teams on paper all look good. They all look really promising.
Right. Yeah.
It just happens for some and doesn't happen for others. Some guys made some really great moves this year. I still love just like a simple one, no lineup grabs Rashee Rice, knowing full well that he's not going to play for 6 weeks or whatever.
Yep.
And who spends draft capital on that? But he stuck to his guns and it rewarded him so much.
He's a stud, exactly.
So there's been a lot of interesting moves like that this year, a lot of good ownership happening, and so for 4 teams, this is a tough time of year, but stay engaged, watch the pod. I don't want to see these viewer numbers.
Fight the good fight, as they say.
Right. I should at least get 9 views a week. So that is a little bit of bracketology and playoff preview. And now we head into round 1. Like it's all on the table now. It's an exciting time. Yeah.
It is, and it's a stressful time as well. And I will say, winning 3 games versus 2, I'm very pleased. I'm sitting here not having to actually worry about playing this week.
Yeah,
like I said, it adds a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress.
Yeah,
but it's the best time of year as well.
It is like outside of draft time now. It's time for the trophy to go somewhere, and that's very exciting. I'd mentioned in the group chat, I love the name change magic. I love that it's name change magic to a historically good team. Even the graphic for the team, I love it. I hope you guys noticed the cheesy way I worked Rodney Hampton into the intro for this week in honor of Team Rodney Hampton's move. We'll see if it's enough.
And no lineup. If they get ousted, we won't be inducting a new member to the BARFF championship.
They're the only ones that could do it.
Worst team, right? And he's the only one carrying the torch this year. Whereas last year, were all three of them?
No, I think two.
Yeah.
So, good luck to no lineup.
They're like to see it. Deserving.
Certainly deserving, and deserving of far more than a 5 seed heading into these playoffs. But we got to play the game, so we'll see. Hopefully no records for points will be set in that game. I need this one filthy. I need this to be an ugly fantasy football game. So.
Yeah, I think next week I'm going to come in. We're going to do a little research on records of championships and.
Oh yeah.
Because I was thinking about that. We got. The Beans has titles. I have titles. Soren has titles. Yeah. You have 2 as well.
I have 2.
So we're looking at a multi-winner potentially going here. If you look what's left in the playoffs. So actually, I'm right. Other than no lineup, everyone else is multiples.
Everyone else has more than one, I believe.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
This is interesting. It's back to the future on us.
I love it. I love it. All right. Thanks to Coos30 for weighing in with the weekly Bean Stink. We appreciate that. If anyone has anything to add about this, just drop it in the comments if you're going to watch later. And that's it. Week 14. It's time for playoffs all across fantasy football. All you can say. All you do, take your Pepsid or whatever, Pepto-Bismol, whatever to settle your stomach, and and just remember, it's never over. All right, BARFF owners, get your bracket results. Who do you think is going to win these games and then the games after? Let's see who does the best BARFF playoff bracket this year. That would be a little bit of fun to watch. And Walt, thanks for coming all the way down.
Yeah, it's great.
All right, a little schedule issue. We're gonna do podcasts next week. But the week after, Christmas week, there will be no live stream of the podcast, and then we'll have the final show the following week. So we've got next week, no show Christmas week, and then New Year's week we'll have a show fit in there somewhere.
Yeah, we'll have our awards ceremony as well.
Yes, it'll be good. It'll be good. All right, that's it for the night. Good luck to all.
All right, take care.
Ooh, here we go.